and today we're going to be reviewing this hexagonal gaming LED panel. So I got this to test out. We're going to open up the box, show you everything, show you all of these use cases, everything that is aligned here with gradients, flashing autoplay, open the product, and then show you how everything is used, and then give you kind of an overall rating on whether you should get this or not, who it's for, and much more. So without further ado, let's open it up and get into the review. So opening it up, you get this manual, then you get these 3 stickers along with the actual 8 pieces. You can see in here, and they are already kind of put together, but you get 8 pieces per box. Next, you get wired remote with USB access, and then lastly, remote control as well. And in this instruction manual, you can see, and we'll talk about it, different DIY processes, stitching, as well as instructions, as well as app instructions if you just want to use the app, as long as kind of some examples of what you can and can't do once you get a lot of these different products, as well as wall mounts. And let's go one by one. So as you can see, you get for 12 of these hexagons, you get 4 for each. So if you have 8 pieces like this, you're only gonna need 2. So the way this works is you peel one out, you put one here in this hole, you peel this off, and then you glue it on the wall. I'm not going to do that because I kind of want to show you for product demonstration purposes, but that's the idea. You're going to take one of these, glue it in here like so, and when you're ready, you take this, peel it off, and then it sticks, and you have one USB here open for whatever modular use case you want to do. So that's what these stickers do, this remote control, and then this wired. So let's test it out actually with the wired mechanism first. And then obviously, you know, to test the modularity, each one of these hexagons has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sides. And you don't have to, you know, just leave it in the default. You can take it off one by one. And you want to make a design, you can work on that. You see, you can whatever side design you want to do. So I'm going to make a unique design and show that to you really quick. So as you can see, each one of these little hexagon things is very flexible, and as you saw with the creativity, you can pretty much make names, anything. You just need to buy as many more as you need. So as you can see, each one has this USB port here, so then you just have to find a design that works. And just to put it in, you just put this in the center with the USB and listen to the click. Once it's clicked in, as you can see, it is not going nowhere, and it is actually pretty stable as a whole unit. Now, if you want this wired to work, you're first going to need to find something to connect it to, and then to the output. So you're going to need to find one port that is open actually, that will connect to this end, and this end will be your power. So let's do that right now. So I'm gonna have to modify this design, as you can see, because I don't have that. So let's modify it real quick to demonstrate this wired method. Since I only have one USB port here, as you can see, as soon as I turn it on, this is the color output by default that this hexagon pad gives me. Now, as you can see, this in the middle is the power, on and off. Let's turn it back on. Mode are the different types of modes. So there's this mode, flowing mode, and then this one also. And you have all of these different patterns that you can use. And as you can see, there are a lot to choose from. I mean, it is quite possibly never ending. So you just keep pressing until your heart desires, pretty much. Until you find the right mode you think for you that blends the party. So the crazy is this dynamic mode. This is the brightness mode. So this adjusts the brightness and speed of everything, actually, as you can see. See, that's what this does. That's the power. This is the static mode. It's just going to display one color by one color. And then this is music mode. So as you can see by sounds and voices, it is going to display itself. So this is one of the few ways you can actually connect. I do love this creative DIY, but that's one of the few ways you can use this with this paired remote if that's what you want to do. Now let's actually look at the remote. If you know, you don't want to do this because, as you can see, one piece is flimsy because of that connection to this with the wired control. Real quick for the remote, as you can see, this is what it looks like. We'll get into that, but you are going to need 2 batteries to actually connect the remote. So for this remote, you're going to need 2 AAA batteries, and once you know the way it works, as you can see, on, off, and all of these different modes work. So as far as what the actual buttons are, auto is automatic, so this automatically, you know, gives you a different feature. S is for speed. You can see this is the different modes, plus or minus. So if you want to circle back and forth between different modes, that's what you can choose to do. As you can see, this has to do with sound and or music. So this is just a music rhythm. So one is pad, one is one rhythm, second is a second type of rhythm, and as you can see, it just moves with any type of sound. Now in this case, my voice is kind of moving it. R, G, and B. So as you can see, green, blue, red. Then you can have it automatically. And as far as these 2 buttons here, they coincide with the brightness. So if you want a brighter, more on the top, brighter, less on the bottom. So this is the second feature. If you want to use this handy dandy remote, you can. If you don't want to just use this, however, you are still going to need a connection. So with all the other 2 modes, you need this connection. It won't work without it. So let's try to show you the app version. So for the app portion, you're going to want to either search this QR code or type me RGBW in the App Store. Let me do that right now and show you the other side. And just like that, from the in-app interface I showed you, it's blue. So everything works the same, but now I'm going to show you the cool features on this app you can't get on the controls. Once you have everything added and played around with, that's pretty much, you know, what you can get with the app. So the app gives you more extensiveness compared to the remote control and the wired, but I appreciate the variety and the flexibility. So let's talk about the good, bad, and everything like that. So let's keep this on because it is freaking cool. So the good on it is, even if none of those work, you can just classically use this one little remote feature. Actually, you know, I turned it off, let's turn it back on. So even if you don't want to use the remote, you could use the app. So you have compatibility built on top of compatibility. So there's nothing really that you're missing out on with these lights. They are modular, they are flexible, as you can see, you can build it in here, you can build names, you can build for your bar, granted, as long as you have enough. So, you know, it comes with 8 on the standard, so yeah, you're gonna need to buy a lot more if you're trying to do anything crazy, but that's not super out of the blue. Another thing is the instruction manual, and you know, the app is very versatile, and it kind of adds this depth that not every single brand like this has. I also think getting to add all your colors and just the customizability and the DIY aspect of it is amazing. So as far as what the downsides would be, one of the downsides would have to be that, you know, the app is not like, it's not like Philips Hue or anything like that where you're having like thousands to choose from and this insane database. It's a smaller company that's making it, so you get smaller ideas. You know, with the musical rhythm, you do have to use the app. If you're not using the app or anything, then you're pretty much just kind of stuck on limbo, you know, with these controls. While these controls do work, you don't get to customize everything the way you would want it to. So you really need the app if you want the best experience. And you know, it is a positive, but it can also be a downside. Another downside, you could be this connection piece. So, you know, you do have this infrared sensor. However, the only way to connect this is through this one connection piece. Otherwise, it's not going to turn on. The app won't do it. You know, it just doesn't have any power by itself. So I could see that being a potential downside, that you're going to have to figure out something to do with this wired connection. Otherwise, you're not going to have it work. So, you know, as for my case, I have this like USB thing, but if you don't, that can be a downside, that it's not just like a regular connection piece, you know. So you have to work on it the way in these specific like confinements. Another potential downside that could be arisen from this would be the fact that it is only 8, and to make the connection one piece does have to be loose. So that's another thing to consider, and you have to stick everything manually. There's no sticking in place on top of it. You do have to like this, and you have to do for all of them. So if you just did one, it wouldn't hold you up very well. So that can kind of be deceiving in some way, but otherwise than that, it is a solid piece. And this is the Zwalsam Hexagon Light. All things reviews. Make sure to like and comment any questions or concerns you have, and you know, if you like this content, want to support it, make sure to subscribe. All things reviews. Until next week, thank you and bye bye. Oh, and I forgot, as far as a rating, I would give this a 8 out of 10. I definitely would recommend it if you're looking for something more compact and you just want something that's cool, modular, and not overly complex. But if you want something more, you know, unique, definitely try something else, but it's also in a good budget.